How many of you remember the 2008 so-called financial crisis? There was no such thing as a financial crisis. That isn't actually a thing, by the way. A handful of really shitty businessmen put a bunch of money out there, and they were supposed to lose everything. That's what was supposed to happen. Instead, they told everybody it was a big financial crisis and that it was going to cause the markets to go under. Who cares? That would be actual capitalism, by the way. It would be all of those people losing all their money and the whole thing goes away. That would be how it actually works. That would be an actual free market, and according to Hoyle, free market. That's what that would be. How many of those people got reelected? Almost all of them, as I recall, something like 90%. Almost all of them got reelected after that, after bailing out a bunch of shitty decisions. And you're like, well, what's your point, Axel? What do you mean, what's my point? That by itself I shouldn't need to make a point. That is the point. In other words, all of you people who pretend to be fucking capitalists really need to shut the fuck up, because there's nothing, because there was, like, you reelected all these fucking people. You put them all right back in. They all went, no, it's the fucking Democrats. Like, yeah, okay. You now have a Republican House, Senate, and you have the Orange Messiah. How much of that shit gets undone? None. In fact, your government spending is going up. It's just getting worse. You're just printing more money. And then saying, well, we don't want to have, we came out and said it. He's like, we don't want to have any more house building because then the boomers will lose money on their houses. And the bankers, of course, who financed all these endless fucking HELOCs that these people took out, they would all lose all their money. It'd be another great financial crisis again. A crisis for a handful of people, not for the majority of Americans. The majority of Americans would be just fine. In fact, the majority of us would love to see housing prices go down by about 90%. I didn't stutter. And I didn't misspeak. I mean that seriously. I'd like to see an actual collapse in real estate and take the stock market with it. In other words, what I'm saying is I would actually like to see what all of the pretend capitalists out there claim that they want. I'd actually like to see an actual market. I have yet to see any of you fucking people actually do. Every capitalist wants a free market until they see a drug boat. Oh, we don't want capitalism then. You fucking pussies. You're fucking pussies and you're hypocrites on top of that. I have no respect for you. None. You're not respectable people. If you're like, oh, but we got to keep kids safe from drugs. That means you're a shitty parent. That's what that means. It means you're a shitty fucking parent. Willing buyer, willing seller. That's capitalism, dude. That's free market commerce right there. And it's like, oh no, we don't want to have that. Why? You all run to socialism then. You all run, I want government to bail me out and go blow up drug boats. And then have your Orange Messiah build apparently a giant golden fleet of bullshit with a bunch of printed money. I don't see any of you people really, I don't see any of you people who espouse these ideals pushing back on any of this shit. You just go along with it. Look at that stock market. Look at that GDP. Yeah, it's all fake. Fake fucking stock market, fake fucking GDP. We're going to create a liquidity pump. That happened on Monday. The so-called liquidity pump, where we're going to just inject $7 billion into the fucking stock market because, well, we want to keep the liquidity going. Yeah, in other words, what a liquidity problem like that, and for those of you who don't know, who may be new, let me explain to you what a liquidity problem is. It means that people paid too much money for assets, and now they can't sell those assets because they paid too much for them. They have a liquidity problem now. They are supposed to lose money. That means that all of those assets that they bought should go to a market level, which is probably near zero in a lot of cases. I'm in Houston, Texas, dude. There's buildings all over Houston. They're boarded up. You can't even find tenants for these buildings anymore. Don't tell me they're worth anything. They're not worth shit. You would have to pay me to take one of those fucking buildings. I mean that seriously. The scrap weight, even if you tore the building down and hauled the scrap off, isn't even worth the dirt. That would be an actual market. So you'll forgive my incredulousness when I constantly keep hearing from people about capitalism this, capitalism that. I don't think that anybody out there, I think if you actually had to deal with real, true free market, I think most of you would be fucking terrified. I think you'd piss yourselves. Because, like, you'd have to actually know what the market fucking wants. First of all, you'd have to know what the fuck a market even is, and most of you don't. You don't even know what the fuck a market is. Or how to listen to it. It's really simple, and you just go find people and ask them what they want. Pretty fucking simple. And they're going to tell you a bunch of shit that they want that you don't like. Yeah. Well, then you're going to start injecting your opinion into it. And then say, well, I don't want to do that. Like, okay, well then fuck off. Fucking, you people are fucking stupid.